Okay, so today is
Ask Tina.
Morgan. She gets further and further away. Okay. Oh, that's a nice name, Ashura. I'm reading your book. I like that. And I have a question. Is the surviving self the one who easily falls into destructive habits and makes it seem like it's impossible to beat them? Absolutely. So the surviving self is that part of us that is the reactive self. It is the self that has been forming based upon survival, fight or flight over the last 500 million years. We actually are operating with a nervous system that has been developing for that long. And part of the way in which we've gotten from a one-cell amoeba to this trillion cell being that we are is that we constantly were able to adapt for survival. And now we're in a place where survival doesn't always have to be the number one thing on our minds, but we are still behaving as though, as they say, tigers and lions are chasing us. The surviving self, these are some of the characteristics of the surviving self. Always at war with something, always ready to blame because that puts you at war with something, always seeing themselves and others, because as long as there's others, there's something to be worried about, there's something to be wary of, there's the opportunity for fight and war. The surviving self feels isolated on the lower end of the surviving self spectrum, and on the higher end of the surviving self spectrum, the surviving self is angry and judging, blaming, attacking. Those energies are not energies that we are going to judge in this moment. We're just going to acknowledge that the surviving self has used those kinds of behaviors as part of its toolkit, part of its way of staying safe in the world. And what's really wonderful and exciting, and what the little book of Big Lies is sharing with you, and what research is sharing with you in so many different ways and forms, is that there's a part of us that is more than that surviving self habit. I call those parts the thriving self and the infinite self. And by developing a relationship with your thriving self and understanding the infinite nature of you, you can begin to strategically and successfully interrupt the old ingrained habits and even nature of the surviving self, and step more and more and more fully and resolutely in the behavior of the thriving self and the infinite self. One of the first ways that you can practice shifting from the surviving self to the thriving self is by having a sense of gratitude or a sense of possibility. Hope, possibility, gratitude, they are elevated energies that can move you out of surviving and into the idea that from this point forward, new things are possible, better things are possible for your life. That's my Ask Tina for today.